I can see.
Well, happy day to everybody. Scott Hastings, Andy Lindahl, hot mic with Hastings and Lindahl, hanging out with you here on a Wednesday night, 9 o'clock, doing our thing. I almost wore my old bucket hat. I'm getting a little thinner, doing the deal. I'm not quite there yet, though, so the bucket hat's for later.
I got a haircut today.
Did you get the free guy haircut? How often you get the haircut?
About every 2 weeks.
You don't want to get long?
No. Go one on the side. You know, when you completely retire, I guess, you know, then I guess you never get a haircut. I saw a guy on Zoom last week. He just retired from the Air Force like 6, 7, 8 months ago. Already got his hair all the way down to here. And I'm like, and my other buddy who just retired, who was flew in the Air Force and then went to FedEx, goes, "Oh, you got that post fly boy hair going right now." So I don't know if that's a thing that you get out of the military, you'd let your hair go.
Probably, man. You know, whatever you got to do, they force you to do some. You're going to go all the way the other way when you get a chance, right? So you think the Rockies would do that at some point, go all the way the other way and be good at some point, but
there's only, you know what? We're going to start stealing the moniker for the Cubs. It's worked for the Cubs. Just wait till next year, Andy. Just wait till next year.
I'm happy to.
Yeah.
Happy to wait a whole year to watch this crap again.
Last time I checked in, it was 5-0 in the second.
7-1 in the fifth, bottom of the fifth. And it looks like they're just going to make sense of where this. He's not been great tonight, but I think they're just the hell with it. You know, it's
how many games will Cincinnati end up pitching by the end of the year? He'll get one more start, right? There's 5 more games after tonight.
No, I think well, you might be right. Maybe he pitches the final one of the year because on a day off, I keep thinking it's Thursday, but instead it's only Wednesday. So, yeah, they got one tomorrow. No, they're one tomorrow and 3 with the Giants. There's only 4 left, so this is probably it for him. So
he's probably done.
Yeah, you would think. So,
yeah, they're probably saying, "Hey, thanks for the year. Try to get to 7."
Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and smoke you, and then that'll be that. So peace out. So I don't even know who's gonna be on this pitching staff next year. I don't know. I guess I shouldn't say. I don't even know the contract status. They've been so bad. I'm not even interested in who stays and who goes. Quite honestly.
Well, I was going to ask you. So the last game, then, and again, I'm like you. I thought today was Thursday. It's Wednesday. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 4 days left in the season. What do you want to see done Monday? So we're going to go do our show Monday. We're going to be getting ready for a Monday night football game between the patched up Bengals and the Denver Broncos. But what do you want to see announced from the 20th and Blake come Monday? Do you want any news?
Yeah, I want everybody fired, but I'm not expecting it. What I want and what I'm going to get are 2 things, Once upon a time, I wanted to take Gwen Stefani out on a date. Did I expect to? No, I didn't. So, no. Look, dude, I want a clean house. That's what I want. I want Schaefer gone. I want anybody associated with what has been the last 3 years out of the building. Don't tell me, well, you don't know anything about baseball at altitude. All due respect, neither do you. You've lost 300+ games the last 3 years. You don't know what you're doing. You don't know what you're doing. You don't know who you're drafting. Guys aren't coming up. The hell with all of it. Why? No. If you're part of this thing for the last 3 years, you are out. You are out. Let Walker Montford take over. Let's at least see what the kid can do and get some idea what's going to happen. You know what I wish this Rays thing would do, frankly? But it ain't going to happen. I wish the Rays number would be so big in the billions of their sale that it would get Dick Montfort to think about selling. I really do. But it's not going to happen. Because you know what? Did you know what I heard on our own air today? Did you hear I know you probably don't always hear the ads, but I was listening to you guys. Do you realize they're promoting Top Deck Golf, where you golf off the top of the top deck and you try to hit targets below, and then there's a big party in the clubhouse. I mean, they've just come up with every event to have Dick Montfort's turn Coors Field into his own personal ticket, his own little money printing machine all year round.
I did hear Top Deck Golf. And I almost said to D-Mag, I said, "What don't they have Top Golf? What is this a new competitor in town?" Because I know some of the Top Golfs around the country they've had to go bye-bye. So he's just opening up. Is it just for like one day?
It's one day, and tee times will be tee times all day, and prizes and golf skill competitions is the whole thing. Again, if you want to advertise on Altitude Sports Radio, we can get you some salespeople. But I heard the advertisement, and it was all about hitting golf balls off the top deck, and it sounds like Top Golf, where you're hitting targets down on the field, and then they said beer and prizes in the clubhouse afterwards, and blah, blah, blah. And so again, he's got My Chemical Romance, one of my favorite. I don't get into a ton of the emo bands, but they're one of my favorite bands. They're playing Coors Field next year. Paul McCartney's about to show up in October. They're just finding ways to print money now, even when the baseball team. Like, again, I think I hate it. I think I said it and you disagree, but I'm going to stick to it. I think, or maybe it was Nate, I don't think they should be allowed to make any more money off this damn thing till you make the baseball team good. We voted the stadium to watch decent baseball. It hasn't been for 3 years, so you shouldn't be able to host concerts and all this other crap. You want to do that? Fine. Give the money to the city.
Well, listen, remember that was that sales tax that built it for Monfort. So, I mean, I think he owns the building. He just has maintenance on it now. So he can do what he wants to do. Yeah. And I won't say whether or not I have tickets to Paul McCartney coming in town in October. But
I'm mad at you for wanting to go, dude. I get it. It bothers me that you are finding a way to turn this baseball park into every form of money-making thing you can when you haven't made the team good. I would not have a lick of an issue with it if we were at least a good team that every 4 years is getting into the playoffs. I understand that the struggles of baseball. I'm not asking you to put together the Yankees every year. I'm not asking you to spend money, but I'm asking you to try and be competitive, and he doesn't do it, and it's highly offensive to me. So whatever. Sit back, collect your money, turn it into a family business, hand it over to your kid. You're basically becoming as the Raiders, and you don't care. Or,
Doesn't it feel like, though, with baseball, you mentioned Tampa going up for sale. Like if an NFL team announced tomorrow, even one, it doesn't matter where, is up for sale. Cincinnati, up for sale. How many people will jump in line? And you've got to be a billionaire, to own an NFL franchise now.
Oh, it's the new billionaire. It's the new piece nobody else can have.
Yeah. So, I mean, you're going to have 4, 5, 6 people in line to buy a football club, right?
Yeah.
Baseball seems like a iffy proposition to want to go out and try to buy a team.
Yeah.
We had that issue with Altitude, right? With the Nuggets and Avs, with, regional television, and the commissioner sat on his ass, and didn't do enough. And now we know why, because he upped the national TV rights by billions and billions of dollars. Why does he care about locals? Anybody tells you that the leagues actually really care about the local fans, they don't. You can be fooled. You can call me stupid. You can disagree with me. They don't care. NBA could have settled that like that. And baseball, I think, is the same way, because a lot of those regional sports networks that went out of business, Bally's and stuff like that. I mean, they were doing hockey. They were doing a lot of baseball, and they're gone. I mean, so where does Major League Baseball generate its revenue?
Well, it's not the TV contracts, because I know. Look, one of the reasons why Dick Monfort traded Nolan Arenado and paid the $50 million was he didn't get the TV contract that he wanted, and now it's even worse. And he didn't want to spend the money on Nolan anymore, so he spent the $50 million to get rid of the contract, so he wouldn't have to pay out the rest of the contract. Period. That's why I got rid of him. Period. So
but could he not do something with a guy named Bryant?
Well,
he's Bryant. Chris Bryant has 2 more years of like $27.5 million.
Yeah, well, supposedly they're going to cash out some insurance policy because of his bad back. So that'll probably happen in the off season. All parties will part company and whatever. And so I don't know how it works. Maybe because he's not playing, they can cash in the policy. I know it's same thing's going on with Joey Bosa. Niners took a insurance policy out on Joey Bosa, and because he's not playing, they get $7 million back towards the cap next year because he's sitting out this year. So it's probably something like that. But anyway, Rockies are the Rockies. All right, I made the title tonight. Do you still Bolieve? Because that's always everyone's favorite title. We already had a comment from earlier texter. Hello, Sweets. Hello, Corn. Hello, Corn Horn. Hello, everybody that's in here already. A lot of the regulars. But Here's a new one from Wes Williams. He's saying, do I believe it's not easy? I'll say that. I just don't I don't believe this team will blow out the Bengals. When I see the offense and defense put together a good game, then maybe. Yeah, man, it's been an interesting 3 weeks. Now, I said this to Nate earlier, dude. Look, I don't think it's all about Bo, but Bo's got to get better. But you and I were believing the scouting reports before the combine that were saying that the deep ball is going to be a problem. And maybe they got away with it last year, and Sean Payton did a good job of scheming up some plays, and Bo had some good Bo had some good deep throws. There's no doubt about it. But he's missing them right now. And I would like to know what is getting, what has changed other than they have no rhythm. They're always in terrible third downs. I mean, there's a litany of problems with this offense. But Scotty, more than Bo, what bothers me, and you know what? We asked Chad Brown this, and I know not everybody seems to agree with Chad Brown that I hear from, but I trust Chad Brown's eyes, and it's something that you've said for a while. Chad Brown, I go, well, what do you think of the O-line and how highly they're rated? And Chad Brown told us yesterday, he said, look, he believes in PFF, so he's not a PFF hater. He's been to the headquarters. He thinks they do good work. He's seen how they get the grades. But he said, I think the offensive line is overrated. So if the offensive line's overrated, I mean, you tell me what's working on the offense right now, which we all know the answer, and what do you do to try to get back on track?
That's a whole lot to unpack.
Take it out a garment at a time.
Yeah. A couple stats that have hit me, and one from last year. You said they schemed him up, did a good job, won 10 games, got to playoffs. He also led the NFL in the NFL quarterbacks in passes behind the line of scrimmage. So I think a lot of that. I keep arguing with Tyler. Tyler said, "Well, they're actually playing pretty good. Didn't play that good in Game 3, but this is a good offensive line. I mean, look at their pass protection efficiency is. I go, if you're passing every pass, or 2 out of 3 or 3 out of 4, or swing out passes behind the line of scrimmage or bubble screens or whatever, he's holding the ball for a second half. How long do you have to really pass rush? I mean, pass protect, right? So I wonder, because it seems like when he steps back and has to sling it, it seems like he's got happy feet, like he doesn't have a lot of confidence in that pocket that he's going to have room to step and play, and he's just he chucks it, and I think that's why he missed. Listen, he missed three wide open plays that would have been monster plays. A couple of them would have been touchdowns. He just hits one of them, you win the game, right? I mean, you just needed one of those to hit, and you win the game. So there's that. I don't know. Listen, it's too early. I think they will beat Cincinnati. I'm not a big Browning fan. Their offensive line is probably one of their weak points on the team again. And you don't have anybody with escapability and that can win you games like you did with Burrows. So I think the D line is going to feast. But I think it still goes to the offense. We had Leggy on today. They've had, gosh, I'm gonna blow this up. I'm gonna mess it up. Seven series in the last 2 weeks where they didn't even get one first down.
10 yards or less.
Yeah, they had 4 series last week and they gained a yard in 4 of their series. Maybe it was seven series they had no first downs. Maybe that was last week. And 4 of them they didn't gain but a yard. And Leggy pointed out, he goes, if you keep putting that defense out there, and I think it was 37-23 time of possession, 36-43 to whatever the 23-36, whatever. There's something wrong with this offense, and in the NFL today, the 2 people that gets way too much credit and way too much blame is the head coach and the quarterback. And I think that's who we all got to look at right now. If the offense keeps continuing to struggle, is the head coach and the quarterback.
Now we had the comment here. I'll put it up there again from Andon. I don't believe, but I do believe we need patience to let the QB develop. That's a plan. Turning on him now is the same thing the Broncos have done for 10 years, and it will be the same old result.
It's really not what they've done for the last 9 years because they never went out and spent a first round draft pick on a quarterback.
They've never committed to anybody this way. We got to all remember Drew Lock was a second round quarterback and the second of the 2 picks in the second round. Remember, they took Dalton Reisner first the year they drafted Noah Fant, and then in the second, for whatever it's worth, the back-to-back picks, then they took Drew Lock.
Well, and remember this too: the only guy that I thought got dumped on and lack of support in Denver, and it started with what's our one guy's name was PD at our station for a while, then's over at the Fan now. Trevor Siemian. Trevor Siemian came out, his first year, not a high drafted player, but he played okay. He played okay that first year he got to play. And probably if he doesn't get hurt, they do make the playoffs. They do win one more game and instead of 9. And then what do you do after having a pretty solid year? We got a quarterback competition. Once you hear the words quarterback competition, in my opinion, your team is screwed for that season. Cheer them on, be happy when they win, and move on and find somebody else to look at that you really want to win.
Yeah.
CU's going through it right now, too, for a while. First 3 weeks, you don't know who's starting. Well, we're going to play all 3. We're going to play this. We're going to get the freshman. We're going to do when you've got competition and you don't know at quarterback, your team's going to struggle.
Yeah, I agree. Look, I don't think they're benching Bo. I know you guys talked about it this week, and DMAC, decided he'd map out all the way to doomsday. He decided to write the first and the Old and the New Testament when it came to how could Bo get benched. But
he's just getting his tap shoes laced up is what he's doing.
yeah, I get you. But look, I don't think Bo's getting benched.
I tried to get Tanner to play our own.
With the sound.
I go T for 2. Couldn't find it.
Well. Look, dude, I don't think Bo's getting benched, so I don't think anybody needs to be thinking about that. I think if Bo gets hurt, they'll bench him, but I don't think he's getting benched. I know you guys have said the same thing. He's the only plan. He truly is what John Elway said once upon a time. There is no plan B.
Yeah.
Stidham is not a plan B. So.
And that sports guy's kind of right. I mean, and I will say this about Sean Payton, and I'm not a fan of his, And I got to meet him. I got to talk to him. He was very personable, and I really liked talking to him. But I'm not a fan of Sean Payton, the coach, and that's okay. Listen, he called up 2 or 3 plays that hit on. If Bo makes a play, you win the game. So you really can't go into coaching on this one. Now, I thought he did a poor job in the Indy game, but listen, he dialed up some plays that were going to work if you execute. What that last one said? Leave my what alone?
Leave my Drew alone. That's just bittersweet. It's our girl Marie. So she loves Drew Lock. Had to give her a little crap at her comment up there and let them know we see you. We are seeing all the comments from all the outlets, guys. So keep them coming. And if you're on Twitter, we can see your comments too. Yeah, dude. Look, that's the thing. If Sean now, look, I wonder if the tone changes if Sean continues to dial up some plays like you said. He drew up some great plays that got guys open. Great plays.
Yeah.
I mean, wide open.
The touchdown throw before half was fantastic.
Well, yeah, with the pitch. But, dude, all 3 plays, guys could not have been more wide open. You've got to hit those. But we didn't. So, but the bottom line, look, Drew's the plan.
Let me tell you my problem with Drew Lock.
Bo's the plan.
Bo Nix.
See, Marie, see what you did?
Yeah, thank you, Marie. Drew Lock's head's bigger than Bo's physically. I think didn't they have to score a touchdown? Didn't they get the ball back before half?
Yes.
And I think it was then. It might have been some other time of the game, but anyway, it was a nice third down play. Your third and 5, 3rd and 4.5. And you throw it to a guy right at the line of scrimmage, with the cornerback right on him, and you're like, you're going to be super, super lucky to break that tackle. Super lucky to break the tackle and get 4 more yards. Why are you throwing it there?
Right.
I remember talking to John Elway, and I know guys really used to care about probably 2 stats, but I'll say one, and that's did you win the game? I can't remember how many times John Elway said, "Listen, we got 3rd and long or whatever. I'll take a shot way down the line. If it gets picked off, it'd be just as good as a punt." Well, if you're 3rd and 5, why are you throwing it to the yard marker? Why? He was open. He caught it, and he gained 2 yards. Now it's 4th and 3. Not even close enough to really go for it. Why are you throwing that football? I'd really like to understand. Do you need to have your percentage up? Do you need to look at the end of the game and I threw it for 65% or 68%? How about no? Chuck it out of bounds even. I don't know. Or pull it out and run. I don't care. Or take a shot down the field and see if some guy intercepts it 40 yards down the field. Okay, it's a good punt. I think Bo is trying to. That's one thing I would say about Bo that, and this is just hit me. I'm not sure he's not a stat pattern.
Okay.
Completion. 2 yards, 4 yards, 2 yards, 3 yards.
Well, you got to remember again, some of this goes back to last year. He won the job by not putting the ball in harm's way, right? He won the job by not throwing picks. He won the job by not taking sacks and all that kind of stuff. And I think it's still with him. I thought I saw the only time for the first week or so at camp, I thought I was seeing a Bo Nix take some more chances, but he's not been there since. And then,
well, he did in camp, and if you remember, he had a lot more picks this year in training camp than we saw last year.
Right, when they really got down to stuff, I know a certain couple people got real happy he hadn't thrown any for 2 weeks, but that was fool's gold. That was during the install period when things were moving slower.
Do you think he's still hurt?
No, I think. Listen, I'll tell you why, and you might be right. I'm not going to totally deny you've got an athlete side that I don't, but I will tell you this: he's struggling where the scouting reports said that he would. And I know we all love to pee all over the scouting reports and say they don't know what they're talking about, but these are dudes that have been putting evaluations together for a long, long time. A long, long time, okay? And look.
Yeah, you know what? They're the guys when you sit in December and January and I'm about ready to fall off my chair, sound asleep, and you're doing all these mock drafts. Guess where they're coming from? All these scouting reports that we want to poo-poo right now.
Right. And look, the other one I'd point to is Nick Bonito. They said Nick Bonito would have the get-off that he has, that he could become a Von Miller. It took 3 years to get there. Now, listen, there's a reason, and you know this. I'm not telling you anything you don't know. I'm talking to the younger audience now. There's a reason why NFL teams would not put a quarterback on the field for 3 years after they drafted him. That once upon a time was the way that it went because you knew you had to work some stuff out with the guy. You knew he had to get in practice and work on some things, and they weren't as limited in practice, and they weren't doing things the way they do now where they can't come to the facility till April because, the vets wanted to have more time off and all this crap.
And money wasn't so crazy that everybody now feels like they're forced to, we got to win now with a rookie quarterback before we have to pay him. Kansas City got away with it. They did it. They ended up going. But who else really? I mean, I know there's been Russell Wilson when he was in Seattle, won a Super Bowl before they had to pay him. I'm sure there's more, but that's what everybody's looking for now. Everybody's looking for the quarterback that gets me to the postseason, and guess what? He's making $5 million, not $55 million.
Right, and then once you pay a guy, I mean, look, Trevor Lawrence looks like maybe he'll try to pay some dividends this year, but we'll see.
How about Dak Prescott at $60 million? You like that quarterback for yourself?
What about $50 million Tua Tagovailoa?
I think Dak's a nice quarterback. Do you want him to pay? Would you want to be paying him $60 million?
Nope. I don't. I think
it's
why Jerry Jones gave up Micah Parsons.
You want to pay him $50?
Nope. Dak should be making 30 to 40, I guess, because that's just what quarterbacks get. But,
Let me ask you this: of the quarterbacks in the league right now, okay, you're an NFL owner, you're a billionaire, Andy.
I like that.
That chair right there is fine Corinthian leather you're sitting on, and not some naga hide.
Not the fake cowhide that I got
Not
at American
fake
Furniture
naga hide. You
back in
don't
the
even have real
2000s.
naga hide.
You don't even
have
know
real
how.
naga hide. You have fake. Me and you got fake. I got fake naga hide right
Yeah,
there.
listen, this chair right here, this chair is 20 something years old. Anyway, go ahead.
So you can do it. What quarterbacks? And I know there's going to be more than one. What quarterbacks that you don't care what you got to pay, you're going to pay in today's NFL to play? I bet there's not many as people would wonder.
No. You're talking about the true boat raisers,
I'm
as we
talking
would
about
say.
a guy like if Peyton Manning was in his 10th year, would you be afraid to pay him $50 million?
Nope.
Yeah. Patrick Mahomes, you afraid to pay him that much?
Paying him.
Josh
paying
Allen?
Mahomes, paying Burrow, paying Lamar Jackson, paying Josh Allen, but we could have some debate about those two with their track records.
Yeah, but hey, listen, you're going to win 13 games and get to at least the second round of the playoffs more times than not.
Fair enough. I'm paying them. Would probably pay a Jaden Daniels, it looks like. But again,
no, I wouldn't yet. I'm not.
He's already hurt. Yeah. Yeah, man. There's 5 or 6.
So what is that? Josh Jackson,
5.
Burrow, Mahomes, 4. What was your 5th? Burrow, Jackson, Allen, Mahomes.
Right. Those are all AFC.
All right.
What about a Stafford?
Let me give you another. How about Herbert?
Yeah. Well, they're paying him. Yeah. Under Jim Harbaugh, yeah, I would. Pre-Harbaugh, I'm not sure I would, but under Jim Harbaugh, I certainly would.
I'd pay him under Sean Payton.
Listen, dude, that throw he made, like, again, the reason why I don't want to burn the town down going this season's not going to be what we thought it was is because if you go back and look at that throw, that throw that Herbert made and the catch.
Tied the game. The tied the game.
Yes, and the catch that Keenan Allen made, those are plays, but those are dudes. See, here's the thing. The good news is, Bronco fans, you're not facing the dudes every week like that. The bad news is, I don't know if we got any of those dudes on offense because ain't nobody of our guys making them plays.
To quote the great Fisher DeBerry when he was in Air Force and got beat by TCU when they were rolling, right, when they were always really, really good. And they went down to Dallas, Fort Worth, and just got rolled up. And they were talking to him afterwards. He said, "We got to get us some of them guys there. we got to get us some of them because you know what? You're right. Unbelievable throw, under pressure, across his body, rolling the opposite direction. Keenan Allen, listen, you always get burned because when you're the defensive guy and the guy catches it, Moss was in good position. He wasn't burnt. He wasn't trailing the guy by 3 yards. He just mistimed the swat. I mean, he swiped at the ball and probably missed it by an inch or so. But those are dudes making play. And I don't care if Keenan Allen is 72. Dude can still play. And I'm not sure. I know you ain't got a Justin Herbert on this team. I'm not sure you have a Keenan Allen on this team.
No, and that's where I was going to go. I mean, look, for all the hyper focus on Bo, and look, that's the position. It's the job you signed up for. So you're going to get hyper focused on, and Bo has got to be better. But it ain't just Bo, okay? I watched our guy Dave Logan doing his DNVR podcast, and he was talking about the receivers got to lay out. Guys have got to lay out. Whether you like it or not, you got to lay out for the ball for the aesthetics, if nothing else. Because he goes, if the ball gets to your fingertips.
Mims could have done that in that Indy game, would have been a big play, and he didn't either.
Well, Mims could have also done it in the Charger game. And I know it's going to hurt. But again, if you're really trying to make a play for your dude, you gotta give it all you got. So I don't know, man. It's
you know what? To quote what was that Charlie Sheen baseball movie, Cleve? What was that called? Hardball? Not Hardball.
No, Major League.
Major League. You gotta have some marbles.
Yeah.
If you're gonna lay out, because that's gonna hurt your tummy, you better have some marbles.
But
if you land wrong, it might hurt your marbles.
I get it. Yeah, it might. That's why you should wear a cup, maybe. But just me. I mean, the lack of pads these guys wear compared to what some of our dudes
Yeah.
wore. No thigh pads, no nothing, and that's fine. If you think you're faster, you're faster. But bro, I would be out there wanting to protect any little bit I could. That's all I'm
I
saying.
at least have a jock and a thimble.
By the way, they think I lost my eyebrows. I didn't lose my eyebrows. I got a crazy one. I just got light eyebrows. I'm Irish.
Did you get them cut recently?
No, I didn't. I didn't. You know me, I don't have time for much lately. Look, man, all I got to say is there's no reason to kick dirt on this season other than we should have just not talked about the Super Bowl. And that's you and I don't love Sean Payton, but I respect him as a coach, but I still can't understand. I still don't understand why he went so all in on the Super Bowl talk. I really don't.
You know why? Because and again, I think it's his ego. I think he loves, you know,
He
being
loves the headlines.
I think he loves, all the people downloading and hitting it. And once you say it once, and that's kind of, I don't say it's outlandish, but once you say something like that, Bo Nix is top 4 quarterback. Well, every national agency, news, sports, whatever, is going to pick it up, right? And then the next one goes, we got to get him on here, see if we'll see something like that, so we can get some clicks too when we put it in our little short on our social media page. Listen, that's my only problem with him. I would say so far the biggest screw up on the season happened in the preseason, and it was Sean Payton getting on all of his buddies' national podcasts and shows and just running his mouth, and that's his ego. That's the only reason I don't really like him. Shut up. But yeah, he wrote a check for. Listen, if we're being real honest, and I'm not saying I'm always great at this, but I thought they'd be 1-2. And you and I talked about it. I didn't like going into Indy. Now you should have won the game. If you're all honest, if you're cranking it up and in mid season form, you're 3-0 right now,
Yeah.
and you're the talk of the NFL. But you gave Indy game away, and you gave this game away against the Chargers also.
All you needed to do is make a play. But again, I'm with you. I thought they might be 1-2 because I did not like the San Diego matchup. And there's something funky about Indy. I thought they'd end up 2-2. Actually, I guess I thought they'd end up 2-2. I take it back. I thought they'd be 2-1 beginning of the season. I thought the Indy game would be ugly, but they'd get it. And then they'd be 2-2 after losing to the Bengals because I thought Joe Burrow might do what he did to him last year. So technically, you don't get this win, you're still on course for stuff, right? First
Well,
off, I only thought they were going to win 10 wins anyway. Okay. I've said, you've heard me say it. They can win 10 games and it'd be a better 10 wins than a year ago. Period.
9 games, and it might be better than it was 10 last year. Listen, I think if this team has got a chance the last half of the season to be a playoff team, I think they got a chance to be 4-4 after 8 games, and I think that's going to be fine. I think you win Monday night. I think that you're 2-2. I don't give you a lot of chance in Philly, although you pointed this out 2 or 3 podcasts ago. Sean Payton has a way of once a year, and he's done it every year he's been here so far, of finding a way to beat some team he ain't supposed to beat. He did it to Buffalo with Russell Wilson. He did it to Tampa Bay last year. Hey, who says that Philadelphia game ain't a game that you ain't supposed to win? You go in and somehow win it.
If they get Malcolm Roach back for that game to help with the run D, I could see that being the surprise win, but we'll see.
But as it stands, so I think they'll go 2-3. I think they'll beat the Jets. That's 3-3. I think they'll beat the Giants. That's 4-3, 5-3 if you're good. Now, the Jets, Giants. Don't forget Jets and Giants. Jets are at least fun to watch right now. They're playing at a different level than they played last year, so it's going to be a little tougher. And you're taking a trip all the way across the pond. And then you got to come all the way back here, lose 3 time zones, 4 time zones, and play the Giants, who aren't very good, but who knows? Scadaboo's now Peyton Hillis of 2025. He's running over people.
Yeah, listen, I told you the thing that makes me nervous about the Giants game, although I do feel better if it's Jackson Dart at quarterback, is I just feel like it's that scheduled Nuggets win that turns into a loss because the other team isn't jet lagged like you are getting back from London. You know what I mean? That's what I'm worried about. So, and again, if they're kind of toiling and Sean becomes grumpy, screws to the grind, Sean, which he can do, because you and I both know the old school coaches, people used to tell me about Shanahan. He almost would act like it was personal if you would lose, and then he'd make football even more hell than it already was if he felt like you were embarrassing him a little bit, right? I think Sean's got that in him. If you're going to lose for me, I'm going to make life miserable on you. And if that's going on around the Giants game, who knows what could happen? But we're not there yet. We're not there yet, okay? We're not there yet, folks. The good news is, the crazy part about it is, whether none of us would have believed that Daniel Jones is playing the best quarterback of his career, and he's the best quarterback in the NFL right now. You've lost to two of the elite quarterbacks of the year so far. So you got that in your back pocket, whatever that's worth. So
and you're a play that you make away for winning the game. Or if Moss gets a finger on that ball and knocks it away. So you're a play away from beating the Chargers and a drive away maybe to beating Indy.
Yeah. So that there's no need to panic. Somebody was asking, I lost the comment, but basically we already kind of covered this, but we circle back because we're glad everybody's tuning in as we go through this little podcast here. Should you play Stidham? There's no need to play Stidham at all this year. There just isn't. Stidham is not a long-term answer. Could you win a few games with them and get to 500? Sure. But you got to see what Bo adjusts to. You got to find this stuff out. And even if this is a miserable year, I would predict they probably still go into next year with Bo as the starter unless some miracle quarterback is available to him, which I don't even know who it would be right now. But you got to ride the ups and downs, okay? You got to find out. And you know why it's important? Because you got to know whether you're going to commit $50 million a year, $60 million a year to this guy.
Yeah.
Period.
You know what? How about a little weather early? Let's see what kind of captain he is. Let's see how he pilots the ship in stormy weather. And it's a little rough right now. Let's see how he pilots out of it. If he gets out of it, changes course, and gets this team going the right direction, then you got the right guy. If he falters, then guess what? Better to know in his second, third year in the league as opposed to the fourth year in the league, and you got to make a decision like they did with a lot of other players. Tua Tagovailoa, you want to be paying him $45 million?
No, you made a bad choice there. So let me ask you this before we get out of here. I was really surprised to hear the Avs talking about how deep they are, and everybody's saying it's a deep team, which I guess, look, I'll take them at their word. I haven't seen them yet, but a lot of people seem to like it. Who's going to be deeper, the Avs or the Nuggets?
Probably the Avs.
Really?
They talked about the Avs being deep going into the playoffs last year, but they what did they have, 10 games together, maybe? If that, man, they had none with Landeskog. So now at least you're going to get a training camp and a full season to go. I think the Avs will be able to throw at least 3 legit lines at you, don't you? And a fourth one that all you want is that fourth one is to gunk the other team up a little bit, don't you?
Yeah, I suppose, man. I don't know. I guess I just expected some more stuff out of the offseason moves than I should not have. And even though I like the addition of Brent Burns, I wish you'd have kept lingering around and added Burns. I still think you're smallish in some areas, but that's just been me forever. I really thought you were going to say the Nuggets because I thought the Nuggets could finally go about 8-9 deep come playoff time and 10 deep if they wanted to in the regular season. Am I too bullish on the Nuggets?
No, I think they're, yeah. I got to see them. I like the addition of Hardaway coming off your bench. He's a mature guy. Knock it down and get after you defensively. Bruce Brown, we know what he brings, but be careful always trying to catch lightning in the bottle twice, right? That doesn't always work. Peyton Watson's a giant key. If Peyton Watson comes back a different player and can actually finish around the basket this season, then the team did get 8-9 deep. If he can't finish,
Oh yeah, I
what
mean,
do you,
mentioned Big
do?
Val,
Huh?
Mr.
Val's
Valanciunas.
for Joker. You'll get the guy that was hurt all last year, who I think
Oh
is.
yeah, Deron Holmes.
I think Holmes is more of a 3-4 type, but kind of a step back 4 player. Payton can play a little 3. Bruce can probably play. Bruce probably your backup point guard for a while, and then Hardaway Jr. maybe your backup too.
Look, man, I'm so excited for the Nuggets, dude. I really am. I'm more excited than the year they won it because now I believe that this team can win it, and they've got a bench.
Well,
So
you know what? You're more excited because they have won it, and they made big moves that off season before they won it, and got Bruce Brown in here and KCP, and I don't know, Jeff Green come that year too. And quietly, Jeff Green was good for him, and he played good for him. So yeah, then they go out, same thing, and now I don't think Jamal Murray's going to have a slow start like he did last year. Remember, he was hurt a lot, missed a bunch of, but he missed 20 games out of the first 60, I think.
yeah, and look, I don't know how you feel about it. Maybe I'm wrong. I also feel like he pouted a bit that they had a Russell Westbrook, and I didn't
Well,
like it, but whatever.
I said it on the show today. I think in hindsight, probably some of the issues. And listen, if you read Ramona Shelburne and all those people that were talking about it, there was a few kinks in the locker room. And listen, you won games. Russell Westbrook won games for you.
He did.
But I think they walked on the eggshells to make sure he was happy, to make sure that he wasn't going to be a true detriment in the locker room. And I think it probably rubbed, and I'm just guessing because I've never talked to Jamal about it. Probably rubbed guys like Jamal and some other guys a little sideways. So.
No, I'm with you. I agree. This is interesting. So, our guy here, hello, Choose or Chaos Softball. Hello. What's going on with Riley Moss? We'll answer this and we're probably going to wrap it up soon. We appreciate you guys joining us. We're going to keep it Wednesdays at 9. We decided. Tell your friends. Let's get back. I know when we get into Nugget season, we get a bigger crowd, but we talk plenty of football. We need to have a little fun too at some point here. Look, man, Riley Moss has been targeted the most in the NFL, and he's got about a 50% completion, less than 50% of the time they're catching the ball on him. And for that many targets that he's seen, it's really not that bad. So he's in the right position. Just, we talked about it earlier with Keenan Allen. Keenan Allen made a hell of a play, and Herbert made a hell of a throw. And you know what? When you're a really good team talking about the Super Bowl, you make those kind of plays, period. Broncos, again, this ain't just a Bo Nix thing. Someone needs to be the playmaker that makes the play you're not supposed to. Someone needs to be the goalie that makes the save when he's got 2-on-0 and you're not supposed to make the save, but I make it anyway. That's what the really good Super Bowl type teams do, period. So.
Yep. Your star player's out and you still rise to the occasion and find a way to win.
Aaron Gordon. How many times did Aaron Gordon, in the playoffs? Aaron Gordon had a couple times where he's out there and he's raising everybody up, and you know what I mean? I mean, come on, man. You need guys. I could go back to the Super Bowl years that I watched. Demaryius Thomas made catches he wasn't supposed to. Emmanuel Sanders made some stupid catches he wasn't supposed to. Peyton Manning checked into plays and found a way to but this team, they don't have guys doing that right now. And again, Scotty was our big complaint in the offseason. I don't even know. Look, man, I was a little underwhelmed about the Evan Ingram signing, but I was promised he was going to be a difference maker. I'm starting to wonder, is this guy going to matter at all this year?
Well, again, I said it on our show today. When he walked into camp and I saw how little he was, I went, oh, oops.
Yeah, that was your big joker.
Yeah.
And then I kind of laughed because Sean's definition of a joker is a guy that just catches passes. That's like to me, when he kept saying joker, to me, it was like a Christian McCaffrey who could be a running back, but if he splits out to wide out, you got a problem. He could probably find a way to pull a little tight end for it, but he can move all around. And no matter where he is, you better account for him. That's what I thought a joker was, not just a pass catching tight end.
if you didn't want to move up and try to get a Tyler Warren, who I liked of the two
Yep.
tight ends, who looks pretty good. There was still 2 or 3 other tight ends that were pretty good players and probably worth the middle of the round draft picks. 2 of the kids were, had connections to Colorado. Should have been nice to see one of those guys get here.
But we didn't. By the way, we're little Ralphie. Our girl Care Bear. I don't know about the CU game. We'll see. Dude, it's so late. You know what I feel about the CU game? Quit making me go cover games at 8:15 at night. I want to cover college football during the afternoon. You know what I mean? I'd like a good 1 o'clock game when the sun's out and the students can stay the whole time because it's not 11:30 and they'd rather do something else at some point finally.
Yeah, I think this game right here, you got it at home, but this could be your TCU from the first year. Because
You're absolutely right. That's a great call, Scotty.
I don't think you're supposed to win this game.
You're not, but it would be good. I remember talking to Arden. Is it Arden Key or Arden Walker, the linebacker that played at Cherry Creek for Dave? Anyway, he got the big safety last week. I was talking to him after the game. I said, "Is this a revenge game?" He said, "Absolutely, it's a revenge game." So hopefully they take that with them into this thing coming up here this week. God, I had some funny question to ask you, and I forgot what it was.
That started the last time we saw BYU started the Shadur's on total vacation and just put me in number 2, coach, because I really don't care right now. That started that parade.
Yeah. No. You're right. I don't know, man.
Did you do that bowl game?
No, thank God. No. What? I had a Mammoth game, dude. I couldn't go. You got to remember, by the time the bowl game started, I got listen. I'm the sexy ass voice of your Colorado Mammoth.
They gonna be any good this year?
I don't know. We got to get a CBA together. Are you kidding me? They're acting like everything's going to be fine, but we'll see. So, I'd like to do those games. So I hope they get it figured out. I'm a big deal in the lacrosse world. You should know the PLL wanted to fly me out to cover their championship. They're going to put me up in a hotel and come to the game and just cover it. But I had to go to Houston. So
why'd you have to go to Houston?
For the Buffs.
Oh, you mean just the other day?
Yeah. I wrote him back and I go, I love you guys to death. You got to quit having this championship game in the middle of football, brother. You got to get this thing done at the end of summer, man. By the time football starts, you ain't got no shot.
You could be the Chris Berman of the PLL.
Could have been, yeah. Could have been.
Don't give up on it.
You want me to lose my hair a little bit? I'll get the bag comb where we're going. Just go back.
Well, just or what you do is just go into full mullet. You could get a mullet pretty easy.
I don't know. All this up here always does something stupid.
You got to fix something with that cowlick right there in the front of your head.
It's been there forever. I've had it forever.
Oh,
That's why I just kind of wear it forward when it's not like this. So, yeah. You know, listen, you got nut hair on your chin, so I don't want to hear it from you. So with that, we'll say goodnight.
Wow. I'll tell the ward you said that. That's funny.
Don't tell her. Don't get her thinking about that. Don't tell her. That's it. That's an us joke. That's not for everybody.
Us and the 15,000 people watching this.
She don't need to watch. She don't need to watch.
She's probably upstairs in bed watching.
Yeah. And now she's going to make you shave it. Scott's going to come to work tomorrow with a clean chin.
Yeah.
If you come to work tomorrow with a clean chin, I'll know that one hit home.
I need to get me, what was that razor company, the man something?
The Manscaped.
Manscaped. I need to get a hold of Manscaped now. I guess Manscaped would take care of this, wouldn't it?
And no. Just get you a regular. Get you a straight blade. You're looking like Colonel Sanders anyway. Go back.
Here you go. Hey, Scotty, have you ever got a chance to see your NBA 2K26 character? Pretty cool. You're in. How do they ask you to be in the game? I'm very curious. Well,
you're this.
This ain't for free.
Listen, that's
No,
a
you
whole
know,
lot of sexy to jam into a game.
I was fortunate to be on a team that won an NBA championship, so I think they put every team that ever won a championship you can play in the NBA 2K series. But I would say, hey, listen, I will say this: graphics always get better. The game's fun. For all those out there listening, I'd run to the store, download whatever you got to do, get your NBA 2K26. It's fantastic.
I will go get some. If you're on it, I'll just go get some. Do I get to negotiate with you?
What do you mean, get to negotiate with
Your
me?
contract. Do we do contracts?
Oh, I doubt it. If anything, on that one right there, he's playing for free.
Dude, I told you one time I got Stink all worked up in my Aurora house because we were playing Madden. I kept smoking him with there was there's glitch plays in every video game, right? But Stink didn't play long enough to know that. So I used to throw, like, I let him sack me 3 times and then I'd throw this tight end over the middle where the no safety would cover him. And I must have converted 3 or 4 4th and 30s. I thought he was going to honestly throw the TV through my wall because it was just not too long after he got done playing. And I go, you know what? I'm so sick of your attitude. I pulled up his player card and I cut his salary. He took it as if I really did it to him. Dude, he was so angry. I'm like, Mark, it's a video game. But I literally pulled it up. I go, I'm cutting you. You're half. I go, you're down to 500. You son of a.
That's funny.
I said, I'm going to give Dan Neal your money. And then I went and gave Dan Neal the extra. Oh, my God. It was so stupid. It was so stupid, but he was just in a fervor. And then I pulled that thing. I show up and he's got a Dreamcast all of a sudden that Daniel bought. He's like, we're going to play football again. And he had practiced on the Dreamcast. I do think he smoked me that game. But I still got mine. And then I cut his salary. So I'm going to buy NBA 2K6, and I'm going to see if I can cut your salary.
All right. Or start me at least.
You know what? You're my guy. In order to get that nut hair off your chin, I'm going to up your salary. I'm going to give you enough that you can go to Scissors or Scotch and Scissors or whatever the hell that is that Tyler goes to. What do you think of that?
What? You don't like this, really?
I'm not into it, no.
Hey, want me to show you a trick? Okay, I'm going to go off camera for just a second. You ready? Okay.
I'm afraid what you're going to do. Okay.
Hold on. I'm not going anywhere.
Are you splitting it in half? Don't do that. That makes it worse. That makes it terrible. Look, I don't know what hill you think you're about to lead everybody up, but the war is over. That's all I got to say. The war is done. I'll say, you're looking like Froghorn Leghorn up there. And half the people on here are too young to even know who the hell that is. All right, we will say goodnight to everybody.
Have a Merry Christmas.
Yeah, and we'll talk to you next week at 9:00.
You got your Halloween decorations up yet?
No.
Oh.
Sorry.
No.
And then, you know what? Are we going to, if I'm hosting a watch party Monday night, which I think I might be, then we'll do some at half.
Okay,
unless
sure.
You don't want to.
And then next Wednesday, let's have Jack Skeleton behind you.
Okay, I got him over there. I'll move him over here.
All right.
All right. Good night.
Say good night, Bill.